If you've been keeping an eye on our import segment, you'll certainly be aware that we would have missed out on some great models across a heap of manufacturers. Had it not been for the RAWS system and a dedicated group of importers, we would have been stuck with making very plain Jane transport choices. Whether it was a discontinued line, as was the case in the awesome Mazda RX-7, or an out-and-out oddball like the superwagon Nissan Stagia, the import scene has brought us some gems and the ability to be individual. Not only has the importing meant new models, here with Mitsubishi Australia utilising the system to bring us the Evo 8s, it's also meant that we can see variants of these popular models being imported as well. The Evo 8 is in fact a great example, with the MR and other models being released in the Japanese domestic market, but not here in Oz until someone hooks them in under the RAWS package. So for the more enthusiast buyer, the up-spec, usually hotter configured sub-models are now becoming available. When we compare the Australian configured Evo 8 versus the MR Edition, the list of improvements is substantial, especially in performance. It cops more power, both torque and kilowatts, hotter pistons and other internal engine changes, larger turbine nozzle, up-spec head gasket, all assisting with the overall performance improvement. The keen eye will also pick out the metal blow-off valve versus plastic on the Oz 8. The four-wheel drive system has also had a minor makeover, with more emphasis on sports settings overall. The biggest change being the Evo model gave control bias of the AWC to the Sports ABS. In the case of the MR version, control is kept by the ACD and the Super AYC, which means that this car responds more accurately to steering input, resulting in better lines through the corners. A specially developed Bilstein suspension package is offered, again complementing the overall control setup, and this version will mainly lob in Oz as a 6-speed. Cosmetically, MR badging, the matte black headlamps and slight change to the colour coding on the rear spoiler are the main differences. Most should arrive with BBS rims and some with roof-mounted vortex generators. Interior-wise, a much better job on the seating with stylish suede, a switch to a carbon finish on the dash panel and a console badge that gives the stamp of approval. Cost-wise, our information from the only players in town importing the MRs, that being autowholesale.com.au, who by the way have several examples in stock, suggest that pricing will be from the low $40,000 mark up to $55,000. Of course it will depend on kilometres travelled, and you should remember that all MRs will be 2004 models.
Now, you can't accuse the Japanese